Here we are once again, my friends, family and other creatures of the sea. Today it's time for GSL Group B, Round of 8 shenanigans. So we have Byun here, the bottom right, spotting as a red Terran playing for the Rebellion, the Shopify Rebellion. And in the top left playing for On-Site Gaming, the one and only Solar. The map we find ourselves on is Grassvan, as Byun is opening up with a build. Definitely a build. This is a build. This is different from anything we've seen before. So this is most likely going to be a 2-base Reaper opener, which is something that Byun, a 2-barracks Reaper opener, which is something that Byun has been playing a lot, but most of the time the second barracks would be placed here in the wall. What does this change? Well, the second Reaper is a whole lot faster. That means that there is some real potential for those first 2 Reapers to do some actual damage. Some actual damage. Of course, this will lower the amount of overall Marines Byun will have, but maybe he had a plan here for the follow-up. Natural Command Center will be a little bit later than it usually is, so for the people that are not aware, of course, you have to build the second depot as well as a second barracks. That is big money that you're spending in things that are in the Command Center. This Command Center will go down at about 2:15, 2:14, something along those lines. Usual Command Center timing is at 1:40. That means this has been delayed by a solid 36 seconds or so, also known as 3 entire SCVs. Byun needs to deal damage worth 3 SCVs, or 3 workers. Gets 1 drone down immediately as 2 Reapers are out. Oh my god, complete miscontrol here from our South Korean Terran player, who loses one of the initial 2 Reapers, has forced out a bunch of links, and is now adding another barracks. This is feeling a lot like a 3-Rex here, because this is a 3-Rex here. It's going to be 4 Reapers total, not just 3. Usually he opens up with 3 Reapers. This time it's going to be 4. That means he can continue his pressure. Now this would have been a whole lot stronger if he actually would have kept that first Reaper alive. That would have been fantastic. Now we see some minor pressure here on the 3rd base. Not quite going to cut it. This is good. This is good damage. There's only a single queen so far here on the high ground. Second queen on the high ground hasn't even started. Link speed very far away as well. As these Reapers continue microing back, can we see a drone surround? Solar does not want to risk it, as Solar loses basically every single link that he ever has had. Now we'll start losing a couple of drones most likely. This queen is still slow chasing these bad boys on creep. Metabolic boost is about to finish up. That is going to be big. That means 1 more Reaper at least will fall here, as this barracks went in for a cheeky little scout. Saw exactly what's going on. We'll get some real damage on it as a result. Who was this good for in the end is the only question that truly matters. And I think the answer to that might be Solar. I think Solar, despite his many losses, is still okay, because he's also killed almost every single Reaper at this point. Luckily, the tech lab and the reactors are on the inside, of course. Had Byun spawned in the top left side of Grassvan, the tech lab and reactors would have all been spawning on the outside, exposing them to not just the elements, but also to Zerglings and potential Banelings or even Roaches. 3rd gas here on the way. Byun follows this up with a 2-on-1 type of setup after he gives away this barracks for free. The question that I have is this going to be a 3rd CC? Did have quite a bit of cash here in the bank, so it is still possible. But for now, just a 2-on-1 type of follow-up. Queen count will be going up to 7 as the creep will start to spread. I really feel like if that first Reaper had not been taken out in the way that it did, it would have just been a huge moment, right? It would have actually been super massive. Really do think that Solar got I don't want to say he got away with murder, but he would have taken significantly more damage. 4 Reapers unchecked in the main base. There was a point in which there were no more links remaining and there was no speed. It was just a single slow queen. If you have 3 or 4 Reapers there, rather than just the 2 that he had now, you're 2-shotting drones, right? You're 2-shotting drones. That is a difference, my friends. That is a difference indeed. Now it's going to be 56 workers to 40, as Solar is, well, honestly in a pretty significant lead right now. I think Byun's position is fairly mediocre. He's going to try to move out across the map. We have seen him play from behind in positions like this. He did it in the round of 16 against DRG on Neo Humanity. An almost unwinnable game. With a never-ending 2-base all-in, Byun ended up taking that one. But this looks honestly even worse than the Neo Humanity game versus DRG did. I mean, let's face it, he's down... How many? I can't even count this. He's like 13 workers, 11 workers. There's no third base on the way for Byun. Solar is supply block, that sucks, but he has plenty of queens around. The tank count is simply non-existent. And the tanks are really what was the real strength, the driving force of a push. Like the one Byun is doing here, right? That's where your power is coming from. Sure, the Marines are very useful, but the tank sniping the Banelings is a vital part. It's a vital part. A couple of creep tumors are being taken out here. Nice double pickup once again. Byun continues being aggressive with those double medevacs. 60 workers out now for Solar. 46 for Byun, who has not produced a worker in a while. Now will start up again. +1 is about to finish up as the first two tanks are now moving out. 59 army supply to 51. Upgrades favorable for Byun. Bailing speed will not be done in time. The queen count is at 8. And I think this is something that Solar perhaps needs to work on. It's getting a higher queen count. 11, 12, 13 queens. Queens work so well against these types of two-base situations. They allow you to stall while your run by or your flank is being set up. They allow you to stall while your next upgrade is coming online. As this is going to be the flank of a lifetime here. Solar needs a couple more seconds for a bailing speed. How far are we? 10. 10 seconds away. Solar pokes to make sure there's no third base. Says, hey, there is no third. And now it's my time to go. Let me set up that flank. Centrifugal hooks in 2, 1. And trigger. Bang, bang, bang. Let's go. No? We're not going? This is a bad surround here. This was a poorly synchronized flank. I feel like Solar should have cleared this army. Now Byun gets the opportunity to set up in a more defensive position, which might make the cleanup a little bit harder. It's getting a little bit crusty, you know? He left it overnight. And crusty pans are difficult to clean, my friends. You know, lots of scrubbing is necessary, and you might ruin the coating of your pan while doing that as well. That's why you always clean immediately when you can. Says the man with 2 dirty dishes in his room as we speak. These 2 tanks are still in the middle of the map. They really should be cleaned up at some point. Should not allow this secondary army to join up. And here we go indeed. This crusty pan is going to get cleaned out. All right, lots of scrubbing here. Nice target fire on these Banes. Still forced to pick up at the last second there. Loads of Marines in the red. Nicely matching the color of their suits. Their HP bar, that is. Some more creep is being denied. Creep spread is fairly mediocre. If creep were a resource, Solar would be poor. But it isn't really a resource. It just allows your units to move faster. And with the real resources, Solar is pretty darn rich. He's 76 workers. He's getting his Hydra then. Double Evo upgrades as well. He's getting his 5th up, while Byun just now is finishing his 3rd orbital command. Supplies are surprisingly even. But supplies can be deceptive. Good drop here in towards the main base. No Banelings were ready in position. Spore wasn't ready either. Queens are out of their depth. Cannot quite reach all of these medevacs. 1, 2 Banes do get sniped before the inevitable pickup. But that was not necessarily a great trade here for Byun, who is now starting his 2-2. This is a quick follow-up on that 2 base. I don't want to say all in, but heavy pressure, dedicated pressure, committed pressure. Once again, he moves out. This is going to be 4 tanks, a Liberator, and a buttload of Marines. Upgrades will be even. Solar needs to find a way out of here. Needs to somehow be capable of setting up a flank. Can he do that? Can you do that for us, Solar? Coming from one direction is not an option against a player like Byun. He will micro you to death. Death by micro. That's what he does. 5th hatchery in a little bit of trouble. As the flank is being set up, Solar's going to give up this base. He does not want to engage into this position. A couple of Banes do get sent forward, but Byun is fast. Too fast. Too furious. Except with the drop in the main base. That one does get taken out. As Byun does continue the push out without creep, Solar feeling incapable of dealing with this. Oh, imagine a Viper. One blinding cloud here. Those tanks will not be shooting for a while, my friends. 2 more lips here are being rallied forward as the marine reinforcement. This is a big reinforcement burst. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. There's no banes at all to this right side of the marines. Every single bane coming now from the left side. And I think Byun can actually squeeze out over here. Just ever so close. Does get out. Well, not with everything, but a little bit. He does get out. 2 lips do remain. These Hydras try to get a catch here. Do not quite get it. Tank count has been reset, which is big. 2-2, however, is on the way now for Byun. Last fight was +2 carapace, I think, for the Zerg player. But no +2 upgrades for the Terran. So that could still go better for the Terran in the future. There is a fort base here, I do believe. Yes, it is done. Barracks 6, 7, and 8 are on the way. That's going to be the end of the added production for a little while. The next structure perhaps might be a second factory to increase tank production. Something that I definitely would like to see. Wouldn't mind seeing +3 start anytime soon either here. Lurker then is on the way for Solar. Marine count is very high. Solar has the counter to Marines though. Banelings, Lurkers on the way. Viper now being built as well. This tank here on the right side, on the bottom side being taken out. A couple of Marines with it will also die. This 5th base once again in trouble. I think Solar is giving up these positions a little bit too quick. In a way, I understand it. He says, hey, look at this, mate. I got Lurkers on the way. All you have is Marines and single factory tank production. Do I really need to defend my 5th base with pure Hydraling Bane? Not sure if you have to, but I think he could have. And now his massive eco lead, his worker lead, isn't doing very much. Triple drop heading towards the main base. That is 24 Marines here and 3 medevac. They do have the 2-2 upgrades. Banelings need to roll into position right now, but extractors are being targeted down at a high pace. Here comes the pickup. That is not a clean pickup. 16 Marines go down, 8 remain as we have another push in here. Byun is being very aggressive. He's doing many things at the same time, but none of these things are really working well. It's cool that you can drive a unicycle while juggling and singing the national anthem, but there's no good notes in there, my friend, and the juggling is just with one ball. It's not really juggling either. This has been a couple of poor trades here for Byun. It really has been. He needs to keep it together now. Still only working on a single factory. I think this might become an issue pretty soon as the Banelings start rolling forward. We have Vipers as well. I mean, this is 56 Marines. That's the army, right? 56 Marines and a tank. But that tank, yeah, I mean, the tank is going to be in position for the defensive fight. The tank doesn't have any upgrades either. A single Lurker here would end the game. Seismic Spines is already on the way. 5th base has finished up now once again. So we do have an 8 Marine drop once again being sent out. Absolutely relentless Marine aggression. We have 70 Marines. 71 Marines and 2 tanks against 28 Banelings and Vipers. First 4 Lurkers are on the way here. So these 8 Marines do get picked up into a medevac once more. They're fairly bruised already though. Medevac count is high enough that everything should be capable of being healed up. Even 86 Marines! 86 Marines! That is not an army composition. That is just Marines. Bottom side is being taken with a hatchery. The double drops heading towards the top side. There's 3 armies currently active on the map. 1 on the bottom, 1 on the top, and 1 in the middle. That is every single angle covered. Does Solar defensively have his angles covered? I'm not so sure. Parasitic Bomb here is being cast. And with the Lurkers, he's going to be just fine. That medevac is full, my friend. You're gonna get busted by those Banelings. 5th base is going to get taken out here for a 3rd or a 4th time. I think this is a 3rd time. Honestly, we've seen it taken out here once before and once over here. Drop once again, returns in towards the main base. Prodigal drop returns. Still only single factory. This is not a thing, by the way. He's literally just massing Marines. That is not the counter to the Lurker. You're gonna need Ghost at some point. This is an unreliable composition. Lurkers burrow. Solar is so afraid of engaging into this. This is Marines, my friend. You have 50 banelings. At the same time, another drop in the main base. We have an attack. There's no medevacs here. These Marines are ready to die. The suicide Marines just running in, taking out queens and drones. At the same time, the left side base has been taken out. Solar has been reset back down to 3 bases. Is trying to take the 12 o'clock. But he's being out multitasked by someone who's doing a Marine-only challenge. This is a single factory still, just producing tanks. The funny thing is, these trades were really good for Byun. I'm still scared. I'm still scared. If these lurkers ever make their way across the map, how is Byun going to hold? He can't engage into lurkers. He can engage around lurkers. That's it. He can run away from them, but if they ever burrow aggressively, you're dead. There's no 5th base. There's not enough scans here either. Oh, there is plenty of scans actually. Never mind. Cancel that last statement. That statement has been cancelled. Oh, here, the lurkers. Yeah, don't think you can do that with Marines, mate. I don't think you can do that with Marines. We have a scan here. Once again, just making sure that the lurkers stay in place. We have this... What are these move-outs? What is that? There's no medevac with this. He just wanted to have a go with 32 Marines. It's unbelievable. Like 25% of his army. No, this is more. He's going in. This is a single medevac. 3 medevacs now. Dust him. Ling Bane is having trouble here. Melee attack level 3 about to set up, as we now have another split up here going in towards the natural infestation pit being sniped. Just continued aggression here of 56 workers. There's still no 5th base. We see the main base floating over towards where the 5th is supposed to be. This is going to be an attack and a half. This is an infinite amount of banelings. This is 44 banes. Fiber uses Blinding Cloud. There is no backup. This is it. It is Marines and now half a tank here as well. Banelings not being split off to fight the SCVs though might be a mistake. That might be a mistake for sure. These SCVs were free to take. But instead he doesn't take anything. Doesn't take out the command center either with his Hydra simultaneously. Where did the lurkers go? The lurkers are on a wild goose chase against medevac, but lurkers don't shoot up. It's one of the lessons you learn very early as a lurker at Lurker Academy. 5th base has landed now for Byun, who's on 49 workers. Who is technically still dead and has been dead for the past 5 minutes when it comes to the attack, but maybe the Marine is better than we've given it credit. Maybe it's an actual good... Maybe it's the counter to lurkers. Start sniping another Viper here. This is a fight that seems winnable if it's off creep. There's not enough Banes here. Missile attacks level 2 is about to finish up. Did he just kill one of his own Marines? I think he just sacrificed one of those. The dog watches all this carnage. Oh, you guys want to play? Some fetch, maybe? No? Alright. Continue on. Where do these lurkers keep going? Why does he keep using 8 lurkers to deal with a single medevac with 3 Marines in it? That doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Once again, lurkers out of position. Oh, Marines here are being slaughtered here, impaled by these spines. At the same time, though, Hydras get taken out. As Solar taps out of this game with only 44 army supply remaining, Byun wins with the Marine-only challenge in the GSL and takes out Solar, a Zerg player that would definitely be considered to be one of the top Zergs worldwide. I have no clue how this happened. My man beat Baneling Lurker, Viper, with Marines. Sure, there were some tanks for backup, but it was really just Marines. He's lost 300 Marines and had 15 tanks in this game. This is ridiculous. This was an insane game. And Byun does it. Byun makes it happen. That is going to be it for me, for you, for Byun, and for Solar. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. And I'll see all of you next time for a new video. Bye-bye.